100% feel like I found a home here. It was a great opportunity, great blessing. Like you said, at the time it was tough, not being for certain, being undrafted, not really having that much of a name for myself. I didn't know what was going to happen, but it ended up working out for the best.
What did they tell you up there? What do they want to see from you when you come back in training camp?
Well, for one, they definitely praised me for the potential that I have, and that's a big thing with them. They said they want to see me get better, want to see me improve, and they also instilled a lot of confidence and encouragement by saying that I have a bright future and a lot of potential to fulfill.
What do you think your potential
That's too general of a question to answer because you have to be more specific on what you're asking.
outside? You gotta be open
follow
for
him.
there.
Yeah,
That's a
but
better question.
yeah, I got you. But as I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's my potential because it's a very basic answer just to be great. I feel like I have the opportunity to be a great basketball player, and how that's defined has been defined in many ways. Many greats have done many different things. So that's why I'm trying to get at. Like, who you say?
How would you define what you think that
Once again, but I feel like I can rebound the ball very well. I feel like I have a lot of tools to use on the offensive end, and I also feel like with the right knowledge or gaining knowledge on how to play defense on multiple positions, I can do so. I believe I can guard 3 through 5 on any given night, and so with those accolades being said, that is a recipe to produce a great player.
What kind of player can you be? Like what, meaning, what players do you follow and or copy or
Never really. I used to follow Amari Stoudemire heavy in high school, but now that I'm coming to my own, by the time you make it to this level, you kind of understand your own game, kind of coming to your own player. And I haven't really found anybody. Not saying that I'm just a totally different breed. There are definitely guys who are similar to me, but just I've never really sat down and thought about it before, like who my game is defined by, or the style of play that I play with, who I'm similar to, but. I don't, some guys have been thrown around before. They upstairs they just talked about Charles Barkley a little bit, guy who was undersized but had a skill set, and could play and was very strong. Uh, I've heard a better, not necessarily a better player, but offensively better Dennis Rodman, uh, Ben Wallace, but better offense. So I've heard a couple of names. I haven't really broken it down, defined it myself.
Coach Scott recently told us that he's not sure if long term you're a center based on your height and that you probably need to develop as a power forward. Is that something that was discussed to you at all?
100%. I want to play power forward. That's what I want to do. But this season had to do what I had to do as a player to maintain this league. And plus, with my size, I'm undersized as far as height goes, but I have some tools that I can play 5, and that's going to make me more valuable at this level. Lord willing, I'm blessed to stay and have a long career. Those tools, my size, my athleticism, my footwork, it provides me an opportunity to play at this level in multiple positions, and so I'm moving on into the future though. Like I said, I definitely want to be a 4-man.
You're really close to finishing up your master's, right?
Hmm
How far away are you?
I have a course and a thesis left, and I'm done.
Any plans to take that on this summer?
Yeah, I'm headed back to Kansas tomorrow to sit down my academic advisor and hopefully walk the stage this summer.
And that's in African American studies?
Yes, ma'am.
you have a thesis maybe?
I haven't really defined it yet because I have so much knowledge on African American studies. 'Cause I grew up in Memphis, so my mom worked at the National Civil Rights Museum for like 10 years. So whatever I decide to write on, I'm gonna knock it out. Trust me.
You undrafted, you kind of had a great season. Clarkson, 46th pick.
Mhm.
Came in and had a great year. What do you think separates guys like you who are either undrafted or taken back in the draft from the guys who get a little more hype when they come into the league? What's the difference?
Well, every year you have your rookies who get that opportunity, who just get in that situation that works out well for them. And then you have those guys who drafted high or low, have a lot of potential, but the situation just doesn't quite mesh with their game and with their mindset, what they're looking to do. And I feel like me and Jordan, you got guys, you got Jabari as well. You know, Vander came in late. So we have guys who had a lot of potential, and the opportunity was perfect. The opportunity was just great. The coaching was just great. The situation just worked well. And I believe also in guys in me and myself in Jordan's shoes. Since he went second round, since I didn't get drafted, our expectations, not necessarily saying we don't expect to be great, but the expectations of what we feel like we're going to be allowed to do isn't set so high. It isn't like, well, I expect to come in and be the man, and I expect to come in and get 20 shots and do this, do that. We're coming in like I'm going to do what it takes to get on this floor and prove that I can play at this level. Whether at Houston I was just really and truly a really good offensive rebounder. Wasn't really scoring like that. I was just a pick setter, offensive rebounder, and a defensive player. Whereas out here, you can see my game come out more, and I was flourishing more. But that was because the opportunity was there. So I believe that plays a lot into it too, just the mentality behind it.
Going back to last summer, did you feel like there was a gap between your game and the guys whose names were mentioned, first round and high lottery? Like
No, I've always felt like I had the potential and I had the talent that everyone else had, but once again, opportunity and situation. It happens in college, it happens in high school. A lot of your great players never get recognized as great players simply because the opportunity and the situation doesn't match up a lot of the times. And so that's why you hear me a lot talk about my faith in God, because a lot of things are out of our hands. Especially when you get to this level and it becomes a business, so much stuff is out of our hands. I don't control how much playing time I get night in, night out. I don't control what team decides to sign a contract, sign me to a 2-year deal, and I'm an undrafted person who averaged 4 points and 5 rebounds last year at Kansas and wasn't even the big name on the team. No, I don't. Those things are not in my control, but it's in somebody's control. And so I choose to put my faith in God, and He brought me to this point where I am today because a lot of those guys who were listed above me, I'm amongst them now.
There's so much uncertainty as far as this offseason goes, as far as how the Lakers are going to fill out their roster, but just by the fact that there's likely going to be some youth coming in, you and Jordan and Lewis, what do you think that's going to do for the cores that there's so many young players?
Well, it definitely gives us a chance to build. Gives us a chance to build one another. Every great team, if you look at teams like the Spurs, the teams like the Bulls, the teams that won championships, it took time for them to build together and play together in order to get to that caliber of a team and players that they became. And plus, they play off one another. They use one another. Every great player has had that guy beside them, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 guys that they're used to playing with. They form a bond of chemistry with, and then they start rolling. And so with us having the guys that we have, we're all rookies right now, just wrapped up our first year, going into our second year, and just moving forward, if we're the options that they choose to go with, then we can build one another. Like me and JC, starting off when I first got out here, me and JC didn't play that well off one another. We played well, he played well, and I played well, but it wasn't like the Jordan Tarik connection was going on. But if you recognize later in the year, when we got on pick and roll, later on in the year, once we started clicking with one another, teams didn't know what to do. He was knocking down the mid-range jumper. Then when they stepped up, he was throwing it right at the rim. And they're like, dang, this guy's really athletic. Or he could throw it to me here as I was making moves, getting to the rack. So then we started going with one another. And then Jabari came on the team, and him and Jabari played great together. And that shows you just that chemistry and that bond that they've had from playing together in college, and how moving forward, like you said, we want to build, and we're trying to get to a level of greatness. But it takes people playing together and learning each other's tendencies and building that chemistry in order to get there. And that's what I feel like could happen if you keep the young guys together.
So to that, will you be playing in the summer league with the Lakers and continuing to build that chemistry?
Will I? Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah, definitely be playing. I'll be there.
More guys?
Tarik, playing against a lot of the 4s and the 5s in the NBA, what did you learn that makes you want to focus on improving this summer?
What I learned playing against a lot of guys is that it's not necessarily in high school and college when you're watching the NBA, you see guys do moves and you're like, man, that's an amazing move. But once you get to this level, you actually start playing those guys, you see that that guy does that move a lot. And what I've learned is it's not about being able to do everything. It's about having some things that you do great and that cannot be stopped. Not just saying offensively, even defensively, just having tendencies on the defensive end that how you maneuver through screens. If you learn how to maneuver through screens and that's your way of getting there, if you can do it every single time and play the way you want to at your pace, you can be great. And so playing against these guys who are NBA legends, like going to be in the Hall of Fame, and just recognizing but you can if you stop him from doing this, then you probably can stop him. Well, the problem is you can't stop him from doing that. He's got it down pat, and he knows how to maneuver around it. If you try to stop him, he can do this and get back to it. And so learning that really gave me knowledge and wisdom on how to move forward and working on my game, learning things that I can do better than others, and just becoming so good at them that even though I can do this and this is what I do, you can't stop me.
Jordan Clarkson talked about how the draft is something he watches as added motivation. He said he watched it 8 or 10 times. Is there anything?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an obsession right there. That's an obsession.
Is there anything that you use for added motivation beyond just that drives you a little bit further?
Different. Everybody moves differently. Everybody has their own drive per se. You got guys like Michael Jordan who were very competitive, and it was, I want to be the greatest, and I want to be better than everybody else. Then you have some guys who, like an Olajuwon, who you really don't get that from. I've never really got that from. I watched a lot of Olajuwon, and to me, he just seems at peace. That's when he plays his best, when he's just, I'm at peace, I'm out here playing ball. So you have different guys in Jordan's that I'm going to watch the draft 8 times kind of guy. And I know I'm better than him, and I'm going to prove I'm better than him. Me personally, I'm more of if I focus on him, I won't play well. If I focus on who got drafted before me and all that stuff, then that's not for me. That messes with my mind. I analyze stuff too much. I'm analytical. And so for me, it's the reverse. I have to calm myself down. I have to find a place of peace. And so with that being said, people getting drafted higher than me never really pushed me to do anything. Really, the thing that pushes me is I know I have this potential to fulfill this. Now, Tarik, will you get there? That's the thing that motivates me. Now, Tarik, that's all I need.